What's up, YouTube? Isaac's Trade here with a little information I found on Palantir I think you traders might find useful. Now, before I jump into this video, remember, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell any asset. I am not a financial expert. You should always consult with a professional before you buy or sell any asset. Or heck, don't be lazy. Look at some charts, read some articles, listen to some random guy or chick on YouTube. Now, let's get into it. So I found some article on Seeking Alpha Pro. Says summary: Palantir's short interest dropped by about 3.8% in the last cycle. Even though shorting Palantir has become easier, market participants are not placing short bets against the company in large numbers. Yeah, I mean, you blame them? No, yeah, but they be relaxing now. But it's settled down, son, with all that shorting. The stock is likely forming a bottom, and investors with long-term time horizon may want to buy Palantir shares while they're still down. Remember that, okay? That's key. That's key. Palantir's ticker PLTR shares have depreciated by almost 45% in value since their January highs. But the downtrend might just be over. I mean, it looks like it. Latest data reveals that short interest in the name dropped yet again in the latest reporting cycle. This suggests that short sides market participants are ignoring Palantir's specific bearish narratives floating around in investment forums, unwindling their positions in the company, and perhaps are also growing bullish on the company. This should come across as an encouraging sign for the company's long side investors. Let's take a closer look at all this again. Now, when they say the long side investors, they're talking about the ones that aren't trying to make a quick buck. All right, man. Stop trying to make a quick buck. I mean, it happens, but it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, I was lucky with Kodak and what was that other company? Oh yeah, Nikola. Man, what a dirtbag company, Nikola. But I made a killing off of that one. Okay, first let's start by explaining the short-term interest for the uninitiated. The term donates the total number of short positions that are open and are yet to be covered. A sharp rise in the short interest figure indicates that markets participants have actively shorted a particular stock in the hopes that it would eventually decline in value. A sharp drop in the figure indicates that market participants actually actively close their short positions as perhaps they forecast the stock to form a bottom and or rally going forward. So it's a handy tool to gauge the market sentiment for short able stocks. As far as Palantir is concerned, its short interest in the last cycle stood at 55.5 million shares, which was down 3.8%. The short interest figure may seem huge in isolation, but it's really not. Per White Charts, the data analytic firm has about 1.82 billion shares outstanding, which means that a little over 3% of its total shares have been shorted at the end of the last cycle. This percent figure is hovering close to its multi-month lows, which in turn suggests that short side market participants actively wound up their positions in Palantir and haven't been keen on initiating new shorts in the name. That's pretty good right there. That's right. Well, act right, son. I'd like to also point that the latest short interest cycle spanned from early April to mid-April, and the data was disminted only this week, so the data under decision is fresh and up to date. Let's now come back to Palantir. Okay, till a few months ago, readers and investors were off the view that Palantir's short interest was artificially low because there weren't many shares available to short in the first place. After all, Palantir's key personnel weren't allowed to sell their shares in the open market till the expiration date of their share lockup agreement on February 18th, 2021, which explains why the shares came down as hard as they did. I mean, man, Wall Street bets, Reddit. It's like, come on, no, it's not. It's because the lockup agreement finally came up, and what else are you gonna do? You've been held up on this lockup agreement for so long. Cash it in, baby. I need to get paid. I got bills to pay. That's what they're like, man. I've been waiting forever. I got this golden ticket. Here it is, sir. You know what I mean? They don't care about us as the investors. I mean, they're like, look, we did the long game because that's what they did with the share lockup agreement. They played the long game. I mean, they're like, you fools need to play the same thing. Okay, so the agreement was also covered. The argument also covered that market participants would borrow and short Palantir shares in much greater quantities once company insiders flood the market with additional shares post the lockup expiration date. In light of this argument, and to get a true picture of shorting related activity in Palantir, I started maintaining a log of short loan availability data since November. Few shares available shorted between early December, January, and in fact, only 15,000 shares were available for shorting on the 15th of December 2020. Also, the fee for borrowing the shorting Palantir and shorting Palantir shares was as high as 18% on certain days in December. But in the following weeks, more of Palantir shares became available for shorting purposes, and also the fee rate dropped to just 0.25%. Okay, in other words, shorting Palantir became much easier, yet we see that Palantir's short interest has continued declined over the recent weeks and months, highlighting the street's reduced interest to short the stock, that's great. That means that they don't want to short it no more. I mean, excuse me. Anytime they stop shorting the stock, that means like, all right, well then they're not betting against it no more. Remember that when someone says you're shorting the stock, that means they're betting against it. Okay, and surprisingly as it sounds, a lot of these stocks out there, they shorted all the time. Most of the time, they're shorted for their whole life. Okay, now let's go a step further with the short data Palantir's peers to get the bigger picture. Okay, now we have PUBM ticker. It has shares outstanding is 40.40. It's 40.40%. Float shares of 45.53%. The fee rate is 7.56%. Shares available is 55. Okay, and then we have. Let me look at it. I'm not going to say all of them here real quick. Where's the next one? Okay, and then we have BB. Okay, there's another one you guys know. BB is sitting at 7.90%, 7.99 floated shares with the fee rate of 0.77% at 2 million shares available. And then we have DBX at 7.40%, 7.89 float shares available with the 0.25 fee rate, 8.7 million. And then Palantir is way, way, way down here on the bottom. That's 5, 10, 15, 25. That's like number 40 down here. Palantir's got 3.20%, 4.09% float shares percent, and then 0.25% fee rate with 8.4 million shares available. Okay, a risky short basically is what we're seeing here. So that's why they're not shorting it no more. They're like, nah, bro, we ain't doing it because we ain't gonna get caught slipping again. So I believe that now is a good time to start loading up on Palantir. All right, what did we closed today at 23.04%. But before I give you my price targets, if you haven't done so yet, please do yourself a favor and do me a favor too. Shit, heck, I mean, because I need the help too. Subscribe to my channel, smash that subscribe button, and help somebody out and share my video with them. Now, if the bears truly had a legitimate argument against Palantir and had a firm belief that the stock will continue to depreciate in value going forward, they would have actively initiated short positions in the name. Okay, remember that. But that did not happen. Instead, we saw the market participants wound up their shorts positions in Palantir in the last cycle. This suggests that the stock is fairly or maybe even undervalued for the time being, and it might not fall much further. Therefore, investors with a long-term time horizon may want to consider accumulating the company's shares while they're still down. I believe that they are correct in this assumption. I know I am going to be adding to my current shares on this one because my average cost for Palantir is way, 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 way down there. I think what was my average cost on this one? Where'd you go? Hang on. Yeah, okay. My average cost on this one is sitting at 11.95. Okay, 11. I'm basically $12. All right. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I might hold off a little bit longer and hopefully we pull back a little bit more because I learned my lesson again. I don't know why I didn't look at RSI when I jumped into Mavis like an idiot. I only looked at RSI at the short term. I didn't look at the farther term. I don't know how I missed that, but it's cool though. It's cool. I'm a long-term investment in Baymace now. But yeah, we looks like we just slapped off the. That's only 30 on the RSI. And I'll see. I need her to come down more to 20. I see a lot more pullback on this one. I'm gonna give this one a low of 20. At 2075 is the low for this one. If she pulls back, I'm buying more around there, and the high is gonna be 24.40 for Palantir. Remember, this is not a recommendation. Do your own due DD. If you copy my trades, you will lose money. I'm out, baby.